Perfection or not? Now that is an ADHD conundrum and a dilemma we are having to confront. Get caught up in the endless quest for perfection and risk missing the boat, or release attention talk video with its imperfection. We say done is better than perfect and are releasing attention talk video as is. We believe good content is good content. So what if we have a few production glitches? If you have ADHD, follow our lead. Don't use perfectionism as a reason to procrastinate. Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here today with Cindy Goldrich. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Today we want to talk about connection, parental connection with your kids. And I've learned from Cindy over the years that that is probably the most important thing between a parent and a kid that is overlooked all the time. If you don't have a connection with your kid, everything else is downhill from there. So with that being said, it is very important, and I think parents need to be more cognizant of that connection and to protect it rather than...
Absolutely. You know, I always say, I want you to imagine that no matter what's going on between you and your child, you have to be sitting on the same side of the couch with your kid. The problem has to be over there.
Yes.
It can't be between you.
Yes.
Because they need you to be able to champion for them and help them solve the problem they're having.
And how this manifests is, let's just talk about homework, right? The kid comes home for homework, and there's homework that needs to be done, and they're not really doing it. And I know, listen, I'm not holier than you guys. I'm a parent. I've done this before. It's like I find myself almost screaming at them, and I'm losing the connection with my kid. That's the problem. So I think that the idea is really to kind of pause in that moment and kind of regulate yourself, if you will, and begin to stop. I've got to stop this because I got to keep the connection. That's the first thing that has to be done, but that's probably the hardest part. Would you agree?
Thank you, Jeff. Absolutely. And what I always tell parents is we have to manage our own anxiety. It's our anxiety, but he's got to get it done. Because if he doesn't get it done, then he's going to fail, or how are they going to look at me? What does it say about me as a parent? Or that door is going to close on him for next year. Guys, doors don't close that fast. They really don't. You want to preserve that relationship and try to understand, and that's why that pause is important. I need to pause myself and say, I wonder what's going on here. Why doesn't Johnny want to do his work?
And this leads to something, over the years, I'm a big proponent of one of the most common reasons that people procrastinate. Well, actually for ADHD, the most common, it's boring. And the other one is they're unclear on what to do. And I say 70% of what I find procrastination is born in some type of ambiguity. And it's not as obvious as you think it is. Like, I need to make airline reservations on the internet. That sounds like it's clear, but going out there and skimming through and finding the right flight or where, it's a little bit taxing when you kind of get into it. Actually, how do you organize and put it together? So I think that one of the keys that I've learned from you is in the moments where the kid's doing the homework, to catch yourself, preserve the relationship, and back up and get, what's hard? How can we make this easy? And actually begin to open that dialogue. I think you probably have a better sense of this, but can you just talk about that mindset to get in? Because you got to catch yourself. I know that you want to go forward, but you got to say that connection and put yourself on that side. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're faced with a kid who's just not doing it, aside from that, you have to know, did I give them a break? Did they eat enough? You know, the meds, if they're on meds, or all of those other conditions. You still have to stand back and say, what's getting in the way? Is it that it's too hard? Is it that they're exhausted, it's overwhelming? Is it that they're confused? You know, why aren't they doing it? But you know, it's interesting, when you say about procrastination, a lot of times we look at these kids and we say, oh, they're just postponing, they're just procrastinating. Sometimes I think they're percolating.
Yep.
They're thinking about, well, I don't know how to do this yet. I don't know what to do. I'm going to need to think about it a little bit. Everyone's rushing me. Like, these kids don't get a break sometimes. Yep. And even though we know, well, you know what, we're running out of time, sometimes we're better off letting them master something and feel good and feel optimistic that they can learn, and say, okay, you know what, you didn't get the rest of that done. That's okay. Look at what you accomplished.
Yep.
That's good too. These kids need to feel successful.
They do. And the thing that I want everybody to take away from today, I think is the most important, because you'll be frustrated, like, what do I do? But I think the key that we're really communicating is you've got to preserve the connection.
Yes.
And you've got to pause, and you've got to override that urge just to jump in and feel the pressure, make that stuff happen. I know that you might feel some anxiety on what you're going to do next, but again, I've learned from you, you lose that connection, you lose trust, you lose everything at that point in time. And they say in sales, the second sale is the hardest because you have to overcome the negativity from before.
That's right.
And I think it all starts with this. I think the message really is be connected with your kid. Pause, let it go sometimes, and you'll build the right foundation.
Right. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's why my whole work is calm and connected.
Yeah.
If you're not calm with your kid, if you're not calm with yourself, if you lose that connection, you can't move forward.
Absolutely. We hope you've enjoyed this tip. Again, subscribe, as usual, subscribe to our channel right there. Please leave some comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this, maybe some of your frustrations, some things that you've learned with our other viewers. And Cindy, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Take care.
Bye.